Well, hello everyone. Welcome. It's 9 a.m. and we've got 45 minutes together. I've got our friends in Montana joining us as well. Hello. You'll hear me talking to them a little bit. And we're going to start today in a seat. My name is Cassidy, if we didn't get a chance to meet. And this is a slowed down vinyasa flow. Take a moment to settle. Your hips might wiggle side to side. You may sit on a block or find a way that's comfortable. And if what's comfortable for you today is legs out in front of you, feet on the ground, feet together, please listen to that. Take a moment, if it feels okay, to close your eyes and start to send your attention up and down through your spine. Like between each vertebrae, between the muscles, the skin, the bone, and start to notice the path that your breath takes. Also, for those of you that don't know, these classes tend to get recorded and put on our on-demand. So don't feel like you can't access them if you ever want to find more at-home practice. Today, I want to focus on getting to know your spine each and every day, getting to know your joints, your body, because you're a different person every time you come to this mat. We're going to move a little bit. We're going to shake things up. We're going to break up some connective tissue and get to know our bodies. Start to reach your arms out wide to the sides. You might flutter the eyes open or keep them closed. Spread through the fingers as if a big gust of wind was coming at you until you feel the webbing of your fingers start to stretch. Good. Take a big breath into this wide open space. And as you breathe out, wrap your right elbow under your left, wrapping yourself in a big hug. Take your hands behind your shoulders, so almost like you're wiggling yourself into this big hug. You can start to feel your fingers start to press into the shoulder blades, getting to know where you're at today. Lift your elbows a little higher, breathe in, and breathe out. On the next inhale, other side. So breath in to open wide, creating space. And breath out, left elbow under. Wrap yourself in that big bear hug. Get the fingers in between the shoulder blades as if you're curious about who you are, what you're doing, and what's going on in that body of yours. Lift your elbows a little higher, breathe in, and breathe out. This next time, reach your arms wide, and we're gonna twist to the left. So taking your right arm to the left thigh, lift the crown of the head to the sky, and as you breathe out, gentle twist, looking back behind you. Other side, this time reaching the arms wide, even up, and then over to the right. Good, sitting tall, breath in, breath out to turn slightly more, looking behind you. We're gonna do that one more time each side. Inhale back to center, reach high. Exhale over to the left, this time holding for 3 breaths. See if you can root your hips down to create length between each vertebrae in that spine that we're bringing all this attention to. Notice what's the same as yesterday, notice what's different, and notice what we might be able to shift. Let's go ahead and come back to center, reach high, over to the right as you breathe out. Again, focus on rooting down and then lifting up. The third step, that's where the twist comes in. Maybe you gaze a little bit more behind you, not forcing anything, just feeling into what your spine's doing today. Back to center, reach high. We're gonna crawl into a child's pose. So walking your hands out in front of you, rolling over the knees, bringing your knees as wide as your mat, big toes touch, sinking the hips back. So all that length that we just created in the spine, see if you can access that here. You can push into the palms. You can crawl your fingers a little further forward, maybe even reaching one hand forward at a time, starting to massage into those shoulder blades we just accessed, lengthening the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Big breath into this space, bigger breath out. You can start to access that breath of fire, that ujjayi breath, another good way to bring your attention into what you're doing. It's a loud, noisy breath that adds heat and adds a little bit of rhythm to our practice. Seal your lips, breath in through the nose, breath out through the nose, push it out. Come forward, tabletop. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog, right into it. So all that length that we created in the spine, start to access it here again. You can bend into one knee then the other, pedaling out your dog, maybe even bending into the elbows and re-straightening. Breath in to look forward, breath out, drop the head, let it go. Again like that, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let your head get heavy. Now you're welcome to access that Ujjayi breath at any time. Know that those big exhales out the mouth can help you release heat and maybe even a little bit of trapped, I don't want to say emotion, but just maybe some feeling that's living in your body that you haven't really any need for today. Take your right leg high into the air. Keep pushing through the hands. Bend your right knee to access your right hip, stacking over the left. Keep spreading through the right toes and flexing the foot. Now lengthen the leg and rebend it a couple times. Start to use your own intuition to move. You might take knee circles, ankle rolls, or even just hanging out in stillness, accessing a twist through that right side body. Good, yeah. Keep the breath flowing in and out. Right leg high, set the foot down. Other side, so left leg sweeps up into the air. Good. And then bending the knee. Notice if your hand starts to curl up in the left palm, see if you can push through that left hand and the right. Yeah, and then any extra movement that starts to call you. Ankle rolls, flexing the toes, feeling into each part of the foot, the ankle, the leg, the hip, all the way through the side body and shoulder. Big breath in to lengthen the leg. Breath out, set the foot down. Look forward in between your hands and then walk your feet step by step, tiptoeing to your hands, forward fold. Feet wide, bend the knees, let the head heavy once more. You can take opposite elbows, interlacing the arms, or any other arm variation that calls you. And again, we're still kind of puttering into our movement here. So any extra swaying, any extra sighing, or bending into the joints, lubricating the joints with a little movement. Good. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, push all the air out. Start to roll up to standing on your next breath in. Nice and slow. Enjoy the ride. Yeah, good. Palms open, facing forward, looking out at that beautiful sunny blue sky. We made it, folks. Let's flow. Arms reach high, breath in, fold forward, breath out. Take your halfway lift and pause right here. So creating a table-like spine, crown of the head pushes forward, hips push back, look forward and fold over the legs. One more time like that. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine, flat spine, so we can take it back to high plank. Push through the palms, step the feet back. High plank, I like to wobble forward and back a little bit, kind of stretching the calves out, letting the hands and the arms know that they're about to do a little bit of work. But if you ever notice a lot of, tension in the wrists or the arms start to hurt, that's a good sign that you need to access the legs. So let's turn those quads on. Yeah, as if you're squeezing a block in between your thighs. The knees can come down at any point and you can still keep those legs engaged. You're not losing any points by bringing the knees down. Breathe in here and breathe out. Can you calm yourself in these moments of spice? Good. Come forward, bend the elbows lower down to the belly. Hands under the shoulders. Untuck the toes till you put your shoelaces down on the mat. Push those shoelaces down. Look slightly forward and then lifting the chest and head. So looking forward, not craning all the way up quite yet. We're keeping the back of the neck long by pushing the back of the neck up towards the ceiling. Lower back down. Again, like that. Inhale to lift up. Legs are working too. Squeeze the quads, kneecaps might even lift. Lower down. Next time, lifting, maybe a touch higher. Hover the hands for 3. Strength coming from the spine for 2. And 1. Lower all the way back down. Let it go. Tuck your toes, knees up or down. Push up. High plank. Downward facing dog. Breath out. Again, notice how that breath is a great place to release, let go, maybe even cool yourself down. Let the heels get a little heavier here. Yeah, it doesn't matter if they ever touch the ground, but push into the heels to feel that big stretch to the back of the legs. And same thing as in our plank pose. If your hands and arms and wrists are feeling strained, check in with your legs. Are they working just as hard? Yeah, good. Look forward and walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. We'll start to flow that breath to movement 3 times. Extended mountain, reach high. Big breath in. As you breathe out, hands to heart center, centering yourself, maybe bringing the gaze inward or to the fingertips. Let's flow. Soft bend to the knees, reach out and up. Breath in, fold over the legs, breath out. This time, breath to movement, halfway lift, inhale. High plank, exhale. Stay for the breath in, come forward. Bend the elbows, lower to the belly, breath out. Low cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. One more time through, or 2 more times through. Look forward, step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift and fold. Extended mountain, rise with the inhale and forward fold. Follow the exhale. Halfway lift, flat spine, and take it back. High plank. This time option for low plank if you want to hover. Low cobra or up dog, lifting the thighs. Downward facing dog. One more time through, right into it. Look forward, step forward. Halfway lift and fold. Extended mountain rise and fold forward. Go for it. Halfway lift, high plank. Lower down, exhale. Heart opener of your choice, breath in. Downward facing dog or child's pose, breath out. Ha, let it land. Good. Getting to know your body today, getting to know your spine today. Every time you put your hands and feet on this mat, you're gonna be a little bit different. Be curious. Right leg high. Right leg high, bend the right knee. We've been here before. So finding that opening, that twist in the right side body. Inhale, right leg high. This time, knee to your nose. Round the spine forward, tuck the chin. One more time like that. Right leg high. Bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe even look under your right shoulder. Inhale, right leg high. This time, knee to your nose. Step it forward. Warrior 2. Back heel down. Open the arms. Good. So shoulders squaring to the left side of the room. Bending into the front knee. Reaching forward and back. Yeah. And I really like to reach forward and back a couple times so you feel the shoulders land over the hips. And this pose is coming from the ground. Engage the legs. Lift the pelvis. Reach all the way forward. Inhale up and back. So as you reach up and back, reverse warrior, really bend into your front knee. Don't lose that front leg bend. Yeah. From here, extended side angle, reaching all the way forward and down. All right, let's come back up, warrior 2. So before we go down to extended side angle, keep reaching a little bit further. Now turn just the shoulders. Yes, good. Brighten up in that top hand. Let your top hand kind of be the tug of war situation to lengthen through the shoulders, through the chest. Good, as you reach to the bottom hand. Nice, back up to warrior 2. And let's windmill the arms. Keep that space, reach, hands to the mat, step back, high plank to low plank. Option up dog to down dog. Big breath in, sigh it out. Good. Other side, left leg high. And then bending the left knee, accessing that left hip opener. Inhale, left leg high. This time, knee to your nose. Bring the shoulders forward. Think plank arms. One more time like that. Inhale, left leg high. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Exhale. Back up, inhale. Knee to your nose. This time, stepping it through. So start with the feet. Feet first, warrior 2 legs. Engage the legs. Now open up the arms. Reaching forward and back. Maybe you find that wiggle until you land joints over joints. Yes, good. Really nice. See if you can turn your left knee out to the left a little bit, getting it to line up with the joints. So we like our joints stacking on top of each other because that allows us to balance freer, right? Just like any structural integrity, building tables, chairs, all those things. Reach forward, keep reaching, extended side angle. Oh, back up, warrior 2. Reach all the way forward, reverse warrior. There it is. Good. All right, now we're gonna find that same reach again. Left arm reaches all the way forward. Keep going, hinge from this left hip crease, extended side angle. Ah, good. And the tendency here is to kind of clutch with those left toes, right? Like you're gonna fall over. That's natural, it's survivalism, right? We don't wanna fall, but trust your own strength. Trust your warrior legs to hold you. Good. Big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Back up to our warrior two to lengthen, and then windmill the arms. Plant the palms, step back to your flow. 3 breaths to take it to down dog. And I think everyone in here knows that you can always skip a high to low plank when you're feeling, just like you want to skip it. It's not a need, it can be a want. All right, let's put that together. Adding on, look forward, lift the heels, bend the knees, travel to the top. Halfway lift and fold. This time, chair pose, build it from the ground up. So bring the feet together, bend the knees, reach high. And know if the feet feel better, hip distance, that's great. Good place to work. But I want you to pretend you have that block between your thighs. Engage the legs, sit a little lower. Good. And then lift the chest up. Think heart opener, bend the elbows. So that big gust of wind is still coming for us. Spread through the fingers. Let the elbows come to the back of the room a little bit more. And then reach high. Fold over your legs. Let it go. Went into one knee, then the other a couple times. These guys in Montana, they tell me all the time that their favorite pose is chair pose. Can you believe it? Let's try it again. Chair pose. That was a dirty look. Okay, right arm back, left arm forward, twisting open chair. So before we go all the way down, just keep this expansion. We're trying to kind of pull the shoulders away from each other as the shoulder blades come a little bit closer. Yeah, back to center, other side, left arm back, right arm forward. So you have that gentle tug of war game going between both arms, but the knees and hips are pointing forward. Back through center, breath in, fold over the legs, breath out. Let it go, big sigh. Say, I love you, chair pose. Okay, you don't have to say it's fine. Halfway lift and fold. One more time like that. Chair pose, breath in. Cactus arms, breath out. Inhale, reach high. Left arm back, right arm forward. Back up to center or whatever side you want to do. Go for it. Yes. Back up through center and fold over the legs. Halfway lift. Meet me in down dog. Remember, chaturanga or nataranga, up to you. Yes. We're going to take that same flow we just built, one breath to one movement. I want you to give yourself permission right now to take it as slowly or as quickly as you'd like. There are not a ton of rules in yoga, contrary to proper popular belief. Right leg high. Bend your right knee. Inhale, right leg high. Knee to your nose, step it through. Warrior two, plant the feet, rise on a breath in. Exhale, reach forward. Reverse warrior, big inhale. Extended side angle. Remember, reach, reach, reach. Then hinge. 3 breaths here. Feel free to add a variation. Maybe that top arm comes behind your back for a half bind, full bind, or anything along the way. Big breaths. Keep turning that right shoulder up and back. Good. Back up to our warrior two. And let's take it home. Windmill the arms. High plank. Option to lift that right leg if you want a little extra spice. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Right into it. Left leg high. Bend the left knee. Inhale, left leg high. Knee to your nose. Step it through. Warrior 2 feet. Then rise. Breath in. Reach forward. Breath out. Reverse warrior. Up and back. Extended side angle, keeping that length through the left rib cage. Good. Yeah, so we're twisting here. That right rib cage is going to spiral up to the sky, taking a half bind, full bind, or anything along the way. Are you death gripping with those front toes? Release the toes. Use your back foot to help stabilize you. Yes, good. On your next inhale, come back up to warrior 2. Windmill the arms, plant the hands, step it back, lifting the left leg if you did on the other side. Finding your flow to downward facing dog or child's pose for 3 breaths. Maybe today is a child's pose day, or maybe today is a wiggle in your hips day. It's up to you, it changes. We're different people every time we come to this mat. Look forward, lift your heels, bend your knees. Maybe this time you step, 1 step, 2 step, no steps to the top. Halfway lift and fold. Chair pose, reach high. Last time through our little chair sequence, let's take the right arm back this time together. Sit a little lower, pull that left shin back in line with the right. And now palms together. Take your twisting chair, hooking the left elbow, Or another great option is draping that left arm across the leg, right hand to the low back. Stay or open the arms. Check in with your feet. Are they gripping? Trust yourself that you're not gonna fall. Good, one more inhale. Fold on the exhale, let it go. Other side, chair pose, reach high. This time, left arm back. Good, sitting a little lower, checking in with your legs, and then taking your twisting chair. Remembering to keep all that length that we've spent this whole class building so that you can take the twist. Just like when we were seated and taking your twist, you're lengthening the crown of the head away from the tailbone, using the space between the vertebrae to twist open, stay or open the arms. Yeah, good. Are you breathing? Big inhale. Fold on the exhale. Let it go. And then feet wide, hip distance at least. Take your 2-piece fingers, wrap them around the big toes. Bend your knees a lot to start. So like the belly is gonna rest on the thighs. And then lifting the chest forward, like almost flat. Pull yourself back down, bending the elbows to the side, let the head go. You choose how much strength you wanna use in the arms here. Maybe you're finding that traction to help open the spine, open the vertebrae, or you're letting gravity do the work here. That's great too. Big inhale. Open mouth, make some noise, sigh it out. Ah, good. Let go of that winter. It's summertime. I just got back from vacation and I gotta tell you, it is pretty glorious to leave when it's cold and come back when it's hot. Let that heat warm you. Stay here or slide the hands underneath the feet. Gorilla fold. You might wiggle the toes into the wrists a little bit, pushing the big toe mounds into the palms. Get curious about how your hands and feet feel right now. One of the best things about yoga, not only does it work our body, it builds strength, it builds muscle, all these things, but it also lets us get to know ourselves. Get to know what your hands and feet feel like against each other. One more inhale, sigh it out. Release your hands and start to roll up to standing. Arms reach high, hands to heart center. Let's go ahead and bring the hands to the hips, feet can come together. Left knee lifts into the air, standing leg raise. Good, so that left hip wants to pop up here. See if you can guide it in line with the right. Good, and then reaching your arms forward, a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. Kick the leg out in front of you. Yeah, remember your standing leg can be a shock absorber if you want to bend the knee slightly. Keep pushing through the 4 corners of the feet. Let's start to hinge forward, slow motion, slower than that. Yeah, good. And then airplane pose is where we're going. Swim the arms back. Think cobra or up dog in the upper body. Good, yes, so strong. Big inhale here. Standing splits. Slowly bring the hands down to the mat or to a block. Kick the lifted leg a little higher. But as you kick the leg higher, you're pushing through the standing foot at the same time. Big inhale. Exhale, drop the head. Good. Let's reverse that process. Slow motion, coming up into our airplane pose. Swimming the arms forward. Standing leg raise. Kick the leg out in front of you. Big breath in. Set it down. Breath out. Whew, let it go. Awesome. Nice job. Other side. Feet together. Hands to the hips. Right leg lifts. Good. Drive the standing leg down. You feel like kind of that bounce as you push the leg down. Crown of the head lifts. Arms reach high. Good. Kick the leg out in front of you. Yeah. And then let's slowly start to take it back. So starting with the lifted legs, you're going to kick back, hinging forward, trusting that you're not going to fall. And even if you do fall, trusting it really isn't that far. Arms sweep back. Big breath in, lift the chest forward. Stay for the exhale. Noticing where your brain goes in these kind of spicy moments. Bring it right here. Hands to the mat, standing splits. Yes, good. Picking your leg up a little higher. Ungripping the standing toes. Breath in. As you breathe out, drop the head a little bit more. Let's reverse that. So coming back to our airplane pose, swimming the arms forward, and then bring that leg through. Standing leg raise, nice and slow. Kick the foot out, Breath in to stand tall, reach higher, and let it go. Whew, shake it out. Tree pose is up next. Now that we have all this lovely balancing position, let's go ahead and take the left foot down, right foot in. Your foot can be anywhere on that leg. Somewhere where you can push the foot and the leg into each other. Hands can come to heart center. Notice your midline. That's the plumb line down from the crown of your head to the tailbone. Can you hug your skin muscle bone into that midline? Stay here in stillness, or perhaps you find a little movement, reaching the arms high. And if your fingers kind of tend to go limp here, you know, it's okay, but let's try it on together. Let's all the hands go limp. Yeah, it doesn't feel as exciting as bing, spirit fingers. Yeah, good. Feel free to access your hand muscles in these poses. Ooh, and it might get a little windy as you sway, or find that perfect tree trunk. Wow, you guys have great balance today. Slowly start to come out. Palms through heart center, bring it into midline. Set the foot down, let it go. Whew. Other side. Right foot down, left foot in. Finding your midline, hugging everything in, maybe letting a couple wobbles come out. Good. You're giving your neighbor a high five if you accidentally fall into them. Okay, and then taking it up into your expression of tree. It can be different on this side. Good. Super strong. Feeling that heat again, start to saturate the skin, the muscles, the bones as you lift up, growing your roots down, growing your branches high for 3, for 2. Nice, and for 1. Slowly come back out the same way you went in, with control, a little bit of patience, and then landing, shaking it out. Nice job. Let's take a big step facing the left side of the room, wide-legged fold. So big step out wide, toes in, heels out. Take your arms wide and that big gust of wind. Remember, we're using our arms here. Yes, good. And now start to hinge from these hip creases. Try to keep that length in your spine because we just spent so long creating space between our vertebrae, may as well use it. Once you're down, everyone, let's lift halfway. Feel free to grab your block out here. It feels kind of nice to have a little lift. Pull the crown of the head forward, hips push back, big breath in, use that length, and then fold, letting it all go. Maybe let the head drop, taking any variation with the hands that feels nourishing. If you find you're a little tight today or a lot tight today, you can bring the feet wider apart. This might give you a little bit more access into the hip joints, into the inside of the legs. You can softly bend the knees or bend the knees a lot. Good. And again, if you notice your toes clutching, it's okay, it's not bad, but it usually can mean that you're dumping weight into an area. So can you use your whole body to help you, support you here? When you feel supported, you might be able to let the head go, let the upper body go. Big breath in, head gets heavy on the breath out. Yeah. Let's reverse that process. So push into the outside edges of your feet, bend your knees and reach your arms out to the side. Lift halfway, pause here, and then let's stand all the way up. Palms come together, pivot to the front of the room, back foot steps in, pyramid legs. So hip distance in the feet here. Yeah, stepping your left foot out to the left a little bit. Arms reach high. You can keep the arms here, or if you would like a bind, taking the hands behind you, reverse prayer. Sometimes grabbing opposite elbows can feel nice. All variations are great there. Let's keep the length as we hinge forward and down, pyramid pose. Again, if your hands are out in front of you and you want to take a block out in front of you for a little bit more support. Good. Finding a position, a shape that allows you to let the head go. So just like we grip with our toes because we don't want to fall over, our head likes to look forward because we want to know where we are. It's natural. But you're building trust, you're building curiosity in your body, allowing you to feel safer so that you can release into your own strength. Good, let's reverse that process. So soften the knees a little bit before we go up. Keep pushing into the feet and then slowly rise the same way you went in, just reversing the process. Hands to heart center and let's step forward, mountain pose. Check in with your midline. You might feel like one side is a little bit more worked right now. That's okay, just notice. Let's even it out. So arms reach high and hands to heart center. Turn to your right, big step out, feet wide. Good, toes in, heels out, reach the arms wide. Stay here or reach back behind you for another little bind. You might interlace the fingers, lift the chest, everyone, and hinge forward and down. So don't forget about those quads as you lower. Slow down the fold by turning your quads on, pushing into the outside edges of the feet. Stay with the breath in. Let the head drop with the breath out. The hands might come up and over a little bit more, or if the mind starts to get a little crunchy, you can let it go. Another great lesson from our yoga or asana practice is when things don't feel good, you can let them go, or you can even adjust so that they do feel good. What can you do to find your edges, but feel supported in your choices? All right, this time option for lion's breath. What it is a big inhale through the nose, and on the exhale, we open our mouth. Option to stick the tongue out. You can make some noise, let her rip as much as you want. Big breath in through the nose, open mouth, stick the tongue out. Good, one more like that. A breath in, lion's breath. Good. Halfway lift, release your bind if you've got it. Airplane arms, reach out. Stand all the way up, palms to heart center, pivot forward, step your back foot in, pyramid legs. Good. And taking whatever variation you took on the other side. You grabbed opposite elbows, see if you can switch the interlace. Lift the crown of the head, and then let's start to hinge forward. So if you notice when you fold, kind of like your belly kind of curls, like almost like a cat spine, we're trying to keep the length. So think cow spine as you hinge forward and down, and then maybe you let yourself round. Good. Really great variation. Keep pushing into the back foot. Notice what happens when you push into different areas of both feet. That feeling travels all the way up into your hips usually, right? Maybe even all the way up into the crown of the head. Lifting the breath in, letting the head go on the breath out. Yes. Super good. So let's reverse that process. Slow motion, ground through the feet to rise all the way back up. Strong legs, arms reach high, breath in, hands to heart center, step forward, breath out. Good. Okay, we're gonna make it to the ground. Arms reach high, breath in, fold over the legs, breath out. Okay, if you wanna take another chaturanga, now's your chance. Halfway lift, either chaturanga or straight back to down dog. Good. Downward facing dog, take your right leg high, bend your right knee. So we've been here about 3 times now or more. You might stay with that movement, or perhaps you flip your dog. Good. Yeah, great. Wherever you are, keep pushing through whatever's touching the mat, your hands, your feet, your heels, to lift a little higher. Yes. Flip dogs, flip back around, right leg high, set the foot down. Other side, same thing. So left leg sweeps up, keep that length in the spine, then use that length to twist, bending the knee. Yes, stay or flip the dog over. Good. And again, you're creating trust in yourself, knowing that whatever version you're in, you're holding yourself up, you're supporting yourself to find a little bit more space and breath into this twist. Slow motion, flip dogs, flip back around, left leg high, set both feet down, come forward, high plank. You remember high plank. We've brushed over it a couple times. We started off with a good long high plank, but let's see what's changed. Maybe the knees come down again. Remember, you can still find that engagement of the belly muscles, the quads, the arms, the biceps, triceps, all the things, or the legs are lifted. Either way, let's breathe. Slow flow. We're just going to hang out here for the last 10, 15 minutes of class. Super slow. Now come forward, but this part is going to be slow. Let's bend the elbows to lower down. Keep the elbows close to the body for 5, 4, 3. Okay, let's come back up. I feel like we could do better than that. Okay, let's lift the knees. Come forward. Those guys are out there doing push-ups. My goodness. And now let's bend the elbows, lowering down. Remember, the knees are right there for 3, 2, And one, belly down, look over to your left, arms long, palms face that big breath into that back body. Let it go. Sweet, sweet floor. Yeah. These practices really make you appreciate the floor, right? Look the other direction. Let it go. So we did some balancing poses. We did our airplane pose. I want us to think about that airplane pose as we take our next back bend locust. So bringing your chin to the mat, flip your palms. So before we go anywhere, push your shoelaces down, push your palms down like you're gripping onto this mat. It's spinning like 100 miles and you're gripping on, you're so strong, you're gonna hang on. Keep that muscle engagement, keep hugging into midline. Now, lift the back of the head up to the sky, reach your arms back, lifting the palms, lift the chest for 3, for 2, and 1. Kick your legs into the air. Spread the toes. Yeah, good. Flying like that super strong airplane. This time we have the support of the ground. Maybe lift a little higher. Imagine just your hips on the mat for 3, for 2, and 1. Lower down, look whatever direction, probably the left. Good. Let it go. Second set, airplane pose. Right to that same place, or excuse me, airplane on the ground, locust pose. Flip your palms and fly. Good. Last time, if you had your feet far apart, what happens when you bring them together? Yeah, it's a little spicy, right? For 3, for 2, and for 1. Look to the right, let it go. Bend your knees, let the legs fall side to side. Windshield wiping. We're gonna make our way to a child's pose. So if you want to take another back bend, go for it, or just sink the hips back. Child's pose. Good. Notice this child's pose compared to the last one. How has it changed? Let's go ahead and come forward, tabletop, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet to your hands, cross the ankles, sit down onto your bum. Legs out in front of you, feet to the mat. Palms behind you. Feel free to take a sip of water, do what you need. We'll take a hip opener, right ankle up and over the left side. Good. You can sway side to side. If you would like a little bit more, feel free to move into your cross-legged fold. Or if you gotta have that pigeon pose, that is yours as well. Yeah, the different variations. And you don't really know which variation is the right one for you until you try on a couple. So listen to that. Yeah, great, awesome. I'm loving these. Anywhere that you can breathe is a good place for you to be. And then can you bring that attention inward? It helps to pay attention to where you're gazing. Maybe you find a favorite speck on your toe or your yoga mat, or even closing the eyes. Bringing your attention through your entire spine, your legs, your feet, your hands, maybe even the sweat on your brow. Slowly start to come back up, taking all the time you need to unravel. I like to bend the knees, bringing the feet to the mat, windshield wiping to the side, or a down dog can feel really good, 3-legged dog. And then other side, left ankle up and over, or wherever you're taking it. I do recommend kind of like hanging out in an option until you realize which one's necessary, right? Or which one's wanted. And then maybe that option evolves into something different, maybe even something new today. Take about 3 or 4 more breaths here. Again, using that attention to bring inward to what you're feeling. We'll slowly start to unravel, taking it into whatever counter stretch you took on the other side, windshield wiping, 3-legged dog. And then in your own way, go ahead and lower down to your back. You might take a slow motion roll down. You might take a boat pose if you just are missing your boat pose today. Anything that allows you to feel supported and strong on your way down. Good. We made it to the ground, folks. Nice work. Take your legs up into the air and let your femur bones settle into your hip socket. So if that doesn't make sense, or if it feels like you're trying really hard here, your legs are shaking, you can bend the knees. Let it be supported. Good. Inhale, everyone lengthen the right leg high. Let the left leg drop down to the mat. Bend your knee and take your right knee up and over to the left. Right arm out to the right. We've got a full rave situation going on with this light over here. Strobe light yoga, folks. And then whatever you need to do to get cozy here. Come back through center. Feel free to linger if the side needs a little more time. Bring the legs up into the air. See if you can balance those femurs in the socket. Give it a go. And then lowering the left leg down. Right leg stays high for a beat, or whatever leg it was. Yep, you got it. And then taking the left knee up and over to the right. Supine twist. In just a moment, I'll be coming around with lavender towels that are nice and cold to place on your forehead. If you would like me to skip you for that today, that is a-okay. Just give me a wave now so I know. Thank you. Again, lingering here as long as you want to. Making it back through center in your own time. Option to give yourself a squeeze, wrapping your arms around your shin, pulling your forehead close to your knees, holding yourself, breath in, opening up, breath out, Shavasana. Taking one more intentional breath in and slowly letting it release out the mouth. Now letting your body kind of breathe itself from here on out. In perfect world, this would be a 45-minute class with a 15-minute Shavasana. If you feel like doing it, I'll hang out with you. But if you're ready to continue into the rest of your day, you can invite some gentle movement back into the body, or just even start to deepen the breath. Setting your awareness and your curiosity through the spine and the body one more time for a full head to toe body scan. Give yourself a little recognition for showing up, for paying attention to you, and getting quite a lot of movement done in 45 minutes. Way to go, you. In your own time, you can roll your way over to one side or the other. Being mindful of your movements, kind of hold on to this savoring feeling. And pressing your way up to a seat if that's where the mood's taking you. Bring your hands to your body somewhere, wherever you are, whether it's the lap, palms together, or even the palms across the heart space. Join together for one more intentional breath in, filling all the way up. Hold at the top. And when you think you're full, take another sip of air. Release. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Namaste. Great job, everyone. Give each other a hand. Way to go. Thanks for sweating with me. My name is Cassidy. I think you all know that. These are recorded and often updated onto our library. And I know there's some new faces around here. So just know if you have any questions, I'm here for it. And we have a ton of stuff going on, as you may have noticed from the door that you can no longer see out of now. So yeah, visit our website and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks, everyone.